Still reviewing Punch. Let's, any story?
Yeah, I have the story inside of Governor Sanwo-Olu unveiling the Yoruba Cultural Centre. And this one, as a Yoruba girl and as somebody that is heavy on culture and heritage, not extremely, but at least we should pass down. We must pass down. So the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Monday officially declared the museum and the J.Randle Centre for Yoruba Heritage and Culture in Onikan open for public use. While speaking at an interactive session in the creative stakeholders at J.Randle, Sanwo-Olu also said his administration would create an enabling environment for all stakeholders to thrive in the private sector, stressing more efforts to bring out creativity and signposting Lagos as a destination for tourism, art and culture on the continent. He also berated the rejection of speaking the local dialect in schools, which, according to him, was the beginning of the problem, stressed that the significance of the J.Randle Centre was strategic to the historical connection of Nigeria. So, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, thank you for always trying to put Lagos on the map for new things. So if every other state maybe can copy or have something close.
As a Lagosian, I know you will want to emphasize on it.
You understand? And have something close. Culture, you can't even ask some of our children or something.
I don't mind the Ogun State girl. Don't mind that. She doesn't understand.
Governor, you really. Let's not go there.
We understand ourselves.
She understand. Let's give it up from there.
They are all hyping themselves. See, this blackout that is happening in recent weeks is not even fun. You know, like the way that we always boast of light. We don't even have light. But anyways, the governors of the 19 northern states on Monday called for the diversification of energy following persistent blackouts in 17 states of the region recently. Apart from Niger and Kwara, 17 states in the north are without electricity supply in the last 2 weeks. That's a long time. Wow. The worst affected are Kaduna and Kano, Jigawa, Gombe, and Katsina, who have not had supply in 2 weeks. The Punch reported that commercial activities in these areas are in dire states in the because without lights, the commercial activities can't work. And they also said that this outage has been caused by vandalism of the power transmission lines in most parts of the northern states. They are begging the federal government to intervene in this situation because this can continue. The governor of Gombe State, Mohammed Yahaya, who is also the chairman of the Northern State Governors Region, convened a joint meeting involving the heads, the governors, and the monarchs of the 18 states, right, aside from his own state. And they're also stating that, and they also wrote that it's really disheartening that many parts of northern states are in total darkness because the 330 kV Shiroro Kaduna power line that supplies states of Kano and Kaduna and other lines that supplies the northern states, Bauchi, Gombe, and other parts we have vandalized. So that, irrespective of the fact that they are begging federal government to sort this out, they're also pleading with their own people that they should stop the vandalism because it's affected 2 weeks is a long time to be without light.
So the Lagos State chapter of the National Association of Nigerian Students, they have rejected the 10,000 naira fine that will begin to each student to cover the damages done to school properties during the riots back in July 2024. The union, in a letter dated October 25th, obtained by the correspondent, said that they described the 10,000 naira fine as significant shock and unfair and insensitive, particularly in light of the current economic climate. So they were saying that it was wrong for the school to impose that 10,000 naira fine on them for the damages done to the school during. That's actually a hot topic because when you have a violent riot and there are damages to the school, who should be liable? So the school is saying every child should pay 10,000 naira, and the students are now writing saying no, that they reject that payment. So whose responsibility is it? That's an interesting conversation to have.
So I'm also talking about the school system. NASU and SANU has already gone on strike yesterday. There was over 55% implementation of the strike, especially in schools that are in session. Some of the schools that were not recorded were not in session, so they did not implement the strike. They got a call. They said they got a call for the Federal Ministry of Education, especially the incoming Minister of Education for states, put a call through to them to request a meeting because they saw the level of compliance. This is according to the presidents of SANU and NASU. Yeah. So he then mentioned the fact that this is why they called them, or because they saw that the strike held effect. And the complaint they had was, if the president already said that they should be paid 50% of the money being owed them, how come the ministry, someone in the ministry of, the Minister of Finance said is sitting on the president's directive? If the president is serious Will an appointee be sitting on his directive? So they are going on strike. Of course, the students, National Association of Students, National Association of Nigerian Students, Lucky Emenofe, has said that he does not support the strike, that the strike doesn't affect the government, it affects the students. The students are just trying to get back into the flow of their curriculum, and shutting down would disrupt the students' academic process. Okay. He's also appealing that the government should answer them, but that they shouldn't go on strike. They do not want strike right now. The unions like NASU and ASU, when they face issues, who suffers the brunt are the students, and he's speaking for the students to say strike is not the necessary action to get the government to do what they need to do.
So when I opened the Punch, I realized that today is actually Chief Dr. Mrs. Nike Akonde, OONCON, birthday. She's 80 today. She's an icon. Many of us know her. Happy birthday, Ma. We never knew, but she's definitely somebody of repute. Chief Nike Akonde is somebody who, she's an elder statesman that many of us should actually recognize and contributed to Nigeria's economy. Now, it's also important for me because there's no way FCT minister will spend so much money in this public and will not help him project it. So this is the thickness. Let me help him announce it. Federal Capital Territory Administration, public announcement, final demand notice on payment of outstanding ground rent in the Federal Capital Territory continued from yesterday. Now, what that means is that you have to buy yesterday's paper in addition to today's paper, because yesterday was the initial one, Nation. Today's one is continued, so you go and look for your name there. If you live in Abuja, I beg you. He's coming. Hey, let's move on to Vanguard. Okay. Withheld pay, Sanu Nasu shut down varsities nationwide. Took that story. Obaseki Commissions College. Congratulations to Edo. Blackout, Tinubu directs Power Minister NSA to restore electricity in North. Power failure, FG malls, establishment of state and regional grids. That's a fantastic idea. Senate screens ministerial nominees today after clearance by DSS. Okay.
So yeah, the power.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a part of the story, but I'm taking the part that because of the challenge specific within the northern area and the constant shutdown within that area, and the insecurity has not allowed the allowed repair to take place. The fixing of the vandalized property, power property, hasn't been able to happen. They have been considering other ways to ensure that power is restored within the north, and part of the options they came up with was that they should regionalize the grid. They said grid must be regionalized. We must have grid so that each of the regionalized grid will be insulated from others. So when a problem happens in one, it doesn't affect the other. A particular line will not influence the other. It's a good suggestion. I remember Otuba mentioned it here on the show, I think last week, Monday, when we brought him in to talk about power issues. Let us implement the idea. The TCN also spoke about the fact that they would be speeding up fixing of the vandalized properties within the north. That is why the north hasn't had power. Actually, majority of the 17 northern states, from 17 states within the north, central, and north, have not had power in recent times, and it's because of the vandalism and the insecurity has not allowed people to fix those issues. They are explaining that's what is happening, but they are working on it, and power will be restored to the north very soon.
Okay. I have the federal government moves to boost food production to tame inflation, and that's coming from the Minister for Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, as he says that they have assisted 600,000 wheat farmers to plant 1 million hectares. So, and this one says that in the bid to tackle inflation and ensure food security, the federal government is intensifying efforts to increase food production in the country. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, in his remarks at the Nigerian delegation's wrap-up press briefing during the 2024 IMF World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C. That's where it happened. Sunday stated that the government is focusing on collecting the wet season harvest and identifying small-scale farmers to ensure a good dry season harvest. And also speaking at the same event, the Senate Interparliamentary Committee Chairman, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, advocated the need for the federal government to issue poor Nigerians with food vouchers as a means of tackling hunger in the nation. He observed that the food vouchers would be more effective in addressing the food supply challenges of poor Nigerians than the current cash transfer initiatives of the present administration.
Okay, so today, the Senate will screen the ministerial nominees forwarded to it for confirmation by the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Congratulations to them. We hope I would like to watch it live. Is it going to be streamed live? You know,
no, they didn't say so. So, yes, we're waiting for the results. Vanguard gathered that the nominees who have been cleared by the Department of Service, DSS, State Services they besieged the office of the Special Advisor to the President on Senate matters, Senator Lado, yesterday to submit their curriculum vitae in order to beat the deadline. So this screening is something that has to be done because they have to be screened and confirmed by within the compliance of Section 147 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. So we're saying good luck to them. We're waiting for the results of the screening. Wish you all the best.
Nigerian Tribune, our last paper for this morning. How much time do we have left? Northern governors reject tax reform bill. Southeast lawmakers may move to block screening of ministerial nominees. Rivers CJN summons FHC CJ to be quizzed today. Obaseki, we've improved lives of Edo people, restored hope to youths. 15,000 doctors exited Nigeria due to poor remuneration, says NMA. Blackout FG plans alternative solutions for northern states. Okay, let me take the Southeast. So the planned screening of the ministerial nominees sent to the Senate last week by President Bola Tinubu may run into some issues today, as lawmakers from the Southeast zone were said to have expressed displeasure over what they termed apparent neglect of the zone. The investigations by the Nigerian Tribune confirmed that the Southeast caucus in the National Assembly has been angered by the marginalization of the zone as seen in the ministerial configuration. It was learned that the lawmakers have been meeting since the list was unveiled, and a source close to the National Assembly said that the lawmakers from the Southeast have expressed displeasure that the president continued to marginalize the zone despite repeated complaints, especially following the last ministerial nominations. Now, I'm not sure which area exactly they meant for marginalization, because it seemed like there were other people within the region that was also nominated, but we'll wait for their own perspective so we can take it from there. Any other story in the Nigerian?
Yes, so, we took the story yesterday. It was a hot topic about the House of Rep member that the Bolt driver and the House of Rep member. So Mr. Stephen is the Bolt driver, and Honorable Alexander Ichekwe is representing Aba North and South Federal Constituency of Abia State. And it's being called for, they're going to interrogate him. And the FCT Police Command expressed great concern about how the Honorable dismissive attitude towards the office of the IGP following the incident. There was an allegation of slapping of the victim and a contempt that you may go ahead and call the Inspector General of Police, demonstrating a troubling disregard for the authority of law enforcement. So, currently the suspect is at the Maitama police station. That was as at yesterday for questioning, and the Commissioner of Police has mandated a thorough investigation into what is going on for those concerned that it might be swept under the carpet. They say it won't be swept under the carpet. And upon completion of the investigation, appropriate legal action will be taken. We should be patient. So we're all waiting for the investigation.
That is all we can take on Front Page Review today. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.